People of the internet, I am Native King Guy, and on this week's show we enter spooky season talking about the biggest, meanest, nastiest, most vile monster that ever lived. That's right, we're talking about Thatcher. I'm joined by Professor Mark Plant as we take a history lesson. So get out your pads and pens as Total Cult Zone presents The Iron Ladies.
You start talking to some people and you mention the strike and they go, oh, God, that again. Do you know what I mean? And I say, hang on. Women gained so much from that strike. It was a win for women.
It's changed my life, definitely for the better.
I would have never done what I've done in my life if it's time to been for strike.
Had it not been for the women, the strike would have ended months before.
What were we going to do? We're going to sort of take a forelock, yes ma'am, or fight. And the choice was to fight.
I went in an old women's picket line. They were going in and they were hitting you and they were kicking you on your shins.
We realised now, we were going to get arrested.
The Met were absolute bastards.
I'd rather be a picket than a scab.
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
The biggest politicisation of working class women I have ever seen.
We done it for the working class. Get better standard of living.
We were out, we were gone, and that was our freedom.
Would I do it again? Yeah, I would. By seeing what those women did, it inspires younger women to take the fight on.
You've got to step forward, make your voice heard. United, we can do things, but we've got to be united.
There's a long way to go before we get what we want. A long way, and we'll keep them fighting.
We've got Soup Maker, eh? How about this? We've got Soup Maker. It's brilliant, does everything. I've been making hot sauce in it. It's fantastic. My own chilies, my own tomatoes, and a mango from down the shop. Bosh, as that twat off the internet things would say. Bosh! Chili sauce. It's good. It's tasty. It's really good. The problem is I'm eating chili sauce on everything, and I'm not built for that now. I'm in my 40s.
What's between a soup maker and a blender?
Oh, this one cooks everything. So it like does the cooking of the thing and then blends it.
Ah.
There you go. It's really good. We got a good deal. Yeah, my cousin Murray works down the soup maker store. He gave me a very good deal.
The show is sponsored by Soup Makers.
Blessed are the soup makers.
Gonna make a joke that was linked to another show, but I don't know when this show's coming out. I've forgotten the fucking
damn it
date. Bollocks. This year when you're bouncing all over the place. It is spooky season though.
Yeah, we're doing spooky season on the podcast. Something we said we'd never do. And John went, can we do spooky season this year? Well, there's no Scottish films left. Can we not do Scotchtober The Revenge? So we're doing spooky season.
I'm sure there's a bunch of Scottish spooky films.
It's a couple. They're not great.
Burglary's Girl?
We've already done it. We did it in the very first Scotchtoberfest. The teeth, those are pretty scary. The architecture in Cumbernauld town centre, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about we're doing spooky season. We're doing a documentary about the mining strikes in the 1980s, but then it does feature the biggest, meanest, scariest monster of them all.
Oh, very good. It's fucking harrowing. It's the most upsetting thing I've watched in months.
Yeah, going into this, I actually don't know a massive amount about the strikes. I know the general idea of it was they were closed down. There was no contingency plans brought into for the areas, so it was just like we're just going to fuck everyone over. There goes the YouTube thing. Great, swearing so early in this video. Got to be knowledgeable of that stuff nowadays.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I had to warn our guests this week not to swear. And they didn't swear once in the entire show. And I swore about 700 times in the first minute. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, essentially put out a bunch of people out of work for the sake of profits, privatisation.
People swearing on YouTube? I don't think it did.
Yeah. Yeah,
Entirely sure it did.
I'm pretty sure.
Put Mark Kermode out of work. All these people swearing on YouTube. Damn it!
Got to use fancy words, don't you? Fancy words to describe films.
I can't. It was good. It had loads of killings in it.
I like those scenes with the things where it sort of has a lighting on it, and the lighting kind of reflects the mood, and the mood is how you make the film makes you feel, and the music make me feel emotion.
You got BTEC in media as well, did you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good.
Taking
Good.
me and Nona with her jazz hands. Gives us an A-Tech, doesn't it?
Is it A star? It's a 10 now. You get a 10 or whatever it is. I don't know.
No idea.
I haven't got any kids. I don't know how it works.
Didn't do well in school, so I don't know much about the miners' strikes.
I grew up through it. I know all about it.
Yeah, that's why you're on it. That's why on the show.
Just Captain J wasn't available.
Yeah, he wasn't big on mining strikes. Yeah, I didn't want to do a lot of research, but I'm actually doing some for another project. But I don't do a lot of research for this because I want to see how much I could learn from it.
Yeah.
You obviously know a lot more about it than I do, so we're not going to do a spoiler zone. It's not really a film you can spoil. So at the end, we're going to put all your stuff, all the stuff you want to sort of let loose about.
It's like one line. I've got one line. It's just get me shot, probably.
Okay, we'll put a disclaimer before that there.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. This inspiring story of working class women who, during the 1984 to 1985 miners' strike, found themselves at the forefront of the battle against the British state. From Scotland down to Kent, women from the coalfields shed light on their experiences of the year-long struggle and how they became the backbone of the strike. With many still active today, their actions reshaped the landscape of political activism for working class women. Directed by Daniel Draper, Nature of the Beast, Iron Ladies is a celebration of the iron-willed women who maintained the 1984 to 85 miners' strike as they fought for the future of their communities. Iron Ladies shines a spotlight on the previously overlooked narratives of women who still fight for their communities today. Heather Wood, Lorraine Stansby, Rose Hunter, Kate Alvey, Betty Cook and Aggie Curry are amongst the 20 unsung working class heroes to share their stories in this film. Okay, a bunch of director's note stuff there. Only heard Daniel Draper's director's note.
Well, Daniel Draper, did you say Nature of the Beast he directed? Was that the Dave Lee Travis biography? Is that what it was?
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
Stuart Hall. I don't know, all of it. It just cut that. He'll be dead upset. He'll be dead upset that I haven't watched his other thing.
Okay, Daniel Draper, director, says 20 amazing women from across the country shared their stories with us. Tales of community, creativity and class solidarity. There have been plenty of films about the miners' strikes, but we believe there is space for a film dedicated to women who contributed so much. This is not a story of the past. All our contributors are still politically active and living in the communities that bear the scars of 40 years ago. Filming this documentary over 18 months allowed us to capture the spirits that still exist. We were grateful to be allowed into their homes and to be entrusted with the telling of this story. This film knows which side it's on. There's no conflicting interviews from police, journalists or scabs. Just working class women recording their actions during 84, 85 and beyond. There you go.
Good. He knew what he was doing.
So yeah, it's a hard film to say you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel I watched it with my wife last night, and you've had this in the barrel for ages, and I've promised I'm going to watch it for ages, but I don't like watching them too early to then have to wait on it. So I wanted it to still be, especially for me, quite raw, because I grew up during the miners' strike. I'd have been 4 when this happened, and my dad, two uncles of the 5 brothers were miners. My paternal grandfather was a miner, and my maternal grandfather was a miner until he died earlier in 1984. So I like to think I'm relatively close to this. Certainly at the age of 4, I wouldn't have known too much about what was going on, because as the ladies point out, we kind of kept from the kids. The kids didn't really know a lot of what was going on. But I came out of this, headline, listeners, I came out of this motivated to join the Communist Party. I'm politically homeless at the minute after the stuff that's gone on in the last 12 18 months. So yeah, I was politically minded to join the Communist Party. I haven't Googled it yet, but I will.
I'm sure there's a few people in your area thinking the same thing.
Well, communism in the Lake District, you're joking, aren't you?
Just you and two other people. And then there's the communist activist front, splitters, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Or someone with a different theory on it. Slightly different.
Just slightly further right than the Communist Party.
Yeah, I did say I wanted to learn stuff from it. I didn't learn a lot about the strikes in it. I think that's the main issue. But I say I don't know, again, I can't say enjoy. There's got to be a word for it. It's a good documentary. Or all the stories, really interesting. Don't learn a lot about the strikes in terms of why they occurred and the narrative behind it all, because they kind of have a quick spinning newspaper headline thing. And there's like 4 years, and that's pretty much it. And the rest of it is just stories during it. So there's no context for where these stories happened.
I liked that as an idea, as a concept to get you up to speed, but I felt it only covering probably no more than about 2.5 minutes of the film. Yeah, and I think this is very much aimed at people that know the miners' strike, the communities, and people that grew up understanding and being told the stories of the miners' strike, and for them to then see another side. So if you're from the South Welsh coalfield, if you're from Fife, if you're from Yorkshire, if you're from parts of the Midlands, then yeah, you'll get a bit of an idea, another side of it you probably didn't see. But for someone like you, dare I say a layman on the whole subject, yeah, you kind of feel missed out. And what my wife, who grew up in Carlisle, said, because there's no mining here, but there was a little on the west coast, she didn't know anything about miners' strikes. And this didn't really fill in those gaps. But what did was a documentary on Netflix at the minute, which tells you the whole thing. I think we watched it on a train and I cried my eyes out on the train. She had to turn it off twice. So I'm crying watching this documentary about Orgreave. So that was a big kind of, that was a good thing for her to fill in the gap ahead of watching this. But these women, wow, what absolute inspirations.
Yeah, that's what carries it. It's just that you really like the women, the stories. It's just that narrative that's missing. There's got all these really nice sweeping shots of all the mines being shut down. Again, it's weird saying nice shots of those because it's kind of depressing. But they could have put like just a text on there, just explaining what happened during the years.
That would have been great for me, because I know about Easington as an example. Easington features quite heavily in this because my grandmother's second husband was a Durham miner, and he moved to the Midlands when they shut the pits. So in the 60s, 70s, that particular pit, he moved down there. So I kind of knew that, and I worked in Easington for a little while selling houses, would you believe? And so I kind of have a little bit around that, and I know the East Midlands thing. And look, you know, I'm from Nottingham, so I've been called a scab thousands upon thousands of times because there were a lot of miners in Nottinghamshire that did. Nobody in my family ever scabbed. There's absolutely no. My granddad would have murdered my dad and his uncles if they said he would have torn them apart limb from limb. So there was absolutely no need for that. But I've been called it loads of times because I'm from Nottingham and I've got a Nottingham accent and I sport Forest and all that kind of stuff. So I know about it and I lived through it. You a lot less so.
Yeah, in London, you pretty much get the miners are striking is a bad thing because the media tells you to. I get that from my parents are kind of against strikes, and you have strikes in London and people are kind of against it because it's they're just out for more money and such and such. It's more about workers' rights and looking after yourself with it.
Yeah.
You got to look after yourself, and you can't just walk away from it. You've got to have like, the union behind you. So a big group of people walk out, then, well, people will listen to you. It's like one person taking a stand isn't going to do much. If like an entire group of people takes a stand, then you're going to get better working conditions, higher pay. It's actually worth the job. Well, what you're doing. So yeah, I get it. I think, like I say, my parents come from that thing of the media feeding them stuff about how unions are bad, strikes bad. Like it's just pissing off the working man, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it's about separating
You need to get to work. You need the buses
other
running.
workers from
Yeah.
those that aren't getting the work, or those that aren't getting the pay. And so, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. I don't see you striking every week. It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had said like security guards should unionize and go on strike because essentially we have all the keys to the buildings in London. We would fuck
be
over
great.
all of London. And I spoke to a few people about it. Shit, I'm gonna get in trouble from the security guards now. They'll hire me. I keep unionizing security guards. But yeah, I was like, would you strike to get more money? It's like if you had a big union, and one was like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. I only do it for a couple of days though, because I've seen what strikes do. Like, what do you mean? Well, it's disrupting things, isn't it? It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. He's one of these that gets absolutely frustrated. He's going to have to get 2 buses instead of a tube.
I have to leave half an hour earlier to get to work.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Yeah, it's that kind of mentality that and other people were like, oh, no, I wouldn't strike because, I don't eat the money.
Yeah, I've never crossed the picket line. I've never ever crossed the picket line, and nor will I ever. It's ingrained in me to not do.
Yeah. So in terms of learning stuff, I've learned the media are bad, which I already know. The government's bad, which I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in terms of, again, enjoyment of the film, still trying to figure out another word. I'm yeah.
Tell you what I enjoyed. They're game old birds, aren't they? Each and every one of them, they're great. And not only are they passionate and knowledgeable and smart, and I think one of the questions that the director, Dan, wasn't it? That the director must have asked was, are you political? Must have been like the opening question, because everybody kind of goes, well, I wasn't really political. And then there's someone goes, I've always been political. I've been political since I was a kid, and my dad was a communist, member of the Communist Party, and I've known all about politics. I was like, that must be exhausting, because I discovered politics at the age of 17, and I've been knackered ever since. To have known everything about politics and understood everything about politics since you were like 8, God, that must age you so much.
Yeah, political climate at the moment is like you need to know everything about everybody because it's how the world works in terms of which side are you on. And it was like a decade ago, no one really give too much of a shit about it until you get to general elections. It's like, who you voting for? Labour, I guess.
Yeah, red, blue.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just like everyone needs to know at all times what's going on with political parties, and a lot of people say they know what's going on. I don't think a lot.
No,
of people do,
really. I can't keep track. Yeah, it's exhausting. But this lot, I could listen to them for days. I really could absolutely listen to them for days. They're such knowledgeable and caring people, and we'll come to kind of the end of the film, I guess, because there's you can't spoil something that happened, however long ago, can you? 40 years ago.
Yeah, I know there's another documentary I've covered recently. I don't know if it'll be out before or after this. It is a good podcast.
Okay.
Like if you had these people on, each woman you come on and do an entire hour and a half long podcast with them, they can tell their entire story all the way through.
Yeah.
And I think this is a film that would be better as a podcast series.
100%. It doesn't have the visual kind of thing to grab you, does it? I think there's the bit about they're making the banners, because the whole thing is it's around the 40-year anniversary of the strike, isn't it? So it's 2024 it will have been. So they're making the banners, and that's nice. That's a nice kind of thing to pull together. But I didn't really understand what banners they were making until about 2/3 of the way through the film. That it was that they were kind of getting to and using that to, pardon the pun, stitching the kind of the Talking Heads bits. But you're right. I think just a Talking Heads podcast would have been enough. Would I go and see this at the cinema? I don't think so. I really don't think I'd jump out on my chair to go and see it, in spite of the subject matter being so important to me. I might go and watch it at a museum, such as the Staffordshire Museum that they went to. The National Coal Mining Museum, I've been to about 5 times in my life, and I bloody love it. Went with co-host Tom from Everything We Learned About The Simpsons one Sunday morning, and then we went to an Oriel's gig in a library in Huddersfield. So there you go. That's the most that's the most Yorkshire date you can have. That we had a great time. It's fantastic. But yeah, I think it's something that I would experience like that. Whereas when previously we did Harder Than the Rock with Joe on this, one of the very first ones, in fact the first one I ever did with you, that's something I really wish I'd got to go to the cinema and watch, because that felt cinematic.
Yeah, there was a ongoing, like, big long story with it. There's all visuals of it.
Yeah,
this one had the visuals that were there, but they didn't use the time they had them on there to tell a bigger story, like in terms of the overall strike. Like you say, it's from my position, I'm not too knowledgeable about it. I could have used a bit more of a backstory of where the people are in terms of the history and where the stories come in, which you could do if it's like a podcast series.
Of course, yeah.
Like a mini series online, or maybe a YouTube series. I know people look down on those ones in terms of having a big film, a doc fest, and it's like an actual feature film. People go for those ones rather than having the smaller YouTube series.
Yeah.
Which I think is a mistake for a lot of the time. It's more like you have a documentary that gets the awards and plaudits because it's a big actual proper film.
Yeah.
Over a YouTube series, which is it's a YouTube series. But you can learn a lot from those, and this has got a budget behind it. There's a lot of stories. You probably have many more stories from each of these people.
Yeah.
And you could have sort of done more of a narrative thing with each person and told their entire lives during that period. This is kind of snapshots of it. And it's good. It just has that thing of something slightly missing from it.
Yeah, they've all got nice houses, haven't they? Lovely houses. And I tell you what they do very, very well is each of the ladies in it, who I respect more than I could ever tell them. They've all got little bits that they've kept hold of. So even if it's, like the coal not dull mugs and things like that, and the lady with the badges that you see her having a tab at the end of her garden in the first kind of like shot with the waistcoat. She's got the waistcoat with all the badges and all that, and I loved that kind of sense of seeing little bits that you probably you would only see in the National Coal Mining Museum, or you'd only see somewhere, but they drag all the stuff out, and they got all the books, and they're all, they know their stuff, and not just because they've lived it, but because they're interested in it. And it's not just them, when you do finally get to them going to places and doing things, you meet so many people that they're with who have got stories of how they lived through, or what they did, or, their uncles and that kind of thing. So I like that. But yeah, whilst it is big budget, it doesn't feel particularly big budget, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I do feel like it was made for me and somebody with the books. Yeah, I've got the books. I'm interested in all that kind of stuff. In fact, there's one right here. There's a strike book right here. So yeah, it wasn't made for you, and I feel that's going to probably limit the interest in it.
Yeah,
and that's a shame.
It's a good sister project with something else. It's like you double bill it with something that has the traditional history, and have this afterwards where where everything is going and why it's happening.
Yeah. Watch Brassed Off and then watch this. Do you know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a load of stories where they're on the striking and the police are giving them hassle, and you get the one where he threatens to kick his bollocks so far up him he gets months of the rest of his fucking life.
She was great, wasn't she? She's my second favourite character behind Betty's cat. Betty's cat I would love to have seen on a big screen, because it's one of the biggest cats I've ever seen. This, I thought it was a Maine Coon at first, but it was not happy. She's like, he's not going to move, he's just going to sit here all the time, is that all right? The director's like, yeah, fine, I'm not going to argue with that. Tiger.
That and the Bruce Springsteen story. It's quite nice.
Oh, the Bruce Springsteen story was amazing. Oh my God. And Rachel went, I didn't know that. Did you know that? Why the fuck would I know that? That's brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of good stories. I recommend it, even though I didn't quite grasp the thing I wanted from it, but still enjoyable.
And
Again,
prescient. Yeah, well, exactly. But prescient as well, because they're talking about there's a section where they're talking about how they kind of survived in '84, and they're talking about like delivering food parcels to people. And there was a line I made a note of. They're talking about food parcels and being in this soup kitchen kind of thing. And one of the ladies said to somebody, "Don't look up as you serve anyone, because we've all got pride, and no one wants to know that they're coming in here for broth." And that moved me. That was quite good. So again, without meaning to make this about me, because it absolutely is not about me, but when I was growing up, we had a Pakistani, Indian, Bangladeshi restaurant in the town, in the village. Kind of like half a town away, and they would come round on a Thursday night to our estate, to our bit, which we lived in a coal-board house. So they would come to the end of the road, and we'd get sent out with a bowl, and you'd get a scoop of rice and a scoop of curry, and you'd go back in, and that was every Thursday night. I think it was a Thursday, and that was your dinner. And that place is still open now, and whereas a lot of takeaways and things have come and gone, and where I'm from now isn't particularly progressive, let's say, because there's not a lot of work, and when the pits died, the town died, really. But the viewpoints of people are usually very much, well, easier to take my job and all that kind of stuff. Those lads, that place will always be open. You know, they until they retire, that place will always be there, because coal folk have got long memories. Do you know what I mean? Well, at least I thought they were until I saw how the town voted in the last election. Yeah, you know.
Oh dear.
yeah. I guess, yeah.
So recommend?
Yeah, absolutely recommend. Yeah, there's not just stories of that. There's stories of what they've gone on to do. No spoilers, because it gives you what the ladies are doing now. There's a really nice march at the end. There's some really good stuff. If you like a sing song and you know your coal mining songs, you'll be all right. You'll get a bit of a sing along as well. I got goosebumps a couple of times. I didn't cry, which I was absolutely certain I was going to cry my eyes out. Didn't cry once, which I'll cry at anything. So yeah, absolutely recommend. I'm sure it'll be on Sky Arts in 4 months' time. Is it getting cinema release, Sting? This?
Ooh, let's have a look.
Sorry, I've put you on the spot there. Because if it does get a cinema release out west, I might go and watch it with an old coal mining audience on the west coast of Cumbria.
In UK and Irish cinemas from the 10th of October.
Oh, brill! Right,
probably
okay.
have to look around for it, because I don't think it's going to get like a major release.
No. It's probably going to be Sheffield's.
Yeah, maybe smaller cinemas, but yeah. It's out 10th October, which is a few days. As we're recording.
Good.
And stuff. So where can we find you online?
100 Things We Learned from Film podcast. 100 Things We Learned from Film.co.uk. When I'm not podcasting, trying to learn things in the podcast with John. I'm making little documentaries of my own, little tiny biddy documentaries on our YouTube channel. We did a 4.5 minute documentary about the life and times of Bart the Bear. A bear that was in a number of films, including The Great Outdoors, and a little documentary on Georges Méliès. And Georges Méliès was the inventor of special effects. There you go.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Love that one.
It was fun. It was so much fun to do and so much fun to learn. And okay, I'm still cutting my teeth when it comes to this kind of thing. I'm not going to win any awards, but it's a nice way for me to kind of thank long dead people and animals. I think I would like to do one about a dog where I don't at any point say that dog's dead. Yeah.
Do one about Good Boy. That's still alive.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, but I've got to wait until I watch it. I can't, and it's not on our cinema. So I'll have to wait until it's streaming. And then my eyes will be streaming. So, yeah.
And as always, you can find me at totalcultzone.com. Go there, read the zine, which will be issue 3 soon because I'm unemployed. There's a Ko-fi link on there as well, which you can give me some money because I'm unemployed. I need money. Really need money.
Coffee. You need that posh coffee. I didn't say conscription. That's very different. That's what's going to happen if you don't get any money.
Yeah.
Even at your age.
Coffee of the week is double chocolate macadamia from the Algerian coffee store. Which is
Algerian? Oh, now you're talking.
Algerian coffee stores in London, yeah. Old Compton Street, which is, the immoral centre of the universe, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, totalcultzone.com. Go there, look at the stuff, give me money.
Do it.
If you want.
Just do it. He'd do it for you.
Yes. No spoilers because it's a documentary, isn't it? Any statement you want to make that is totally your opinion and nothing to do with the Total Cult Zone podcast presents, whatever it is. I forgot the name of the show.
I was going to say the Iron Maidens. Not called that, is it?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, well, I mean, come on, we all believe this. Fuck Thatcher. Do you know what I mean? Fuck Thatcher's corpse. Is exactly what I'm going to say about it because the past 2 years there's been this thing, right, where everyone's kind of, well, let's maybe rejudge Thatcher. Let's maybe look at Thatcher as a globalist. No, because people that are doing that aren't people that grew up through this. And if it's like example, when Thatcher died, I got a phone call. I maybe told this story on this podcast before. When Thatcher died, I got a phone call off of a friend who grew up in a coal mining town in the northeast of England. And he called me. He said, "Are you sat down? I've got some good news." So I was on my lunch in the canteen. I said, "Yeah." Are you definitely sat down? I said, "Yeah, I'm sat down." Like the last time I'd had this phone call, it was Brian Clough, like 10 years before, and I sobbed my heart out. So I was, "Yeah, I'm sat down. What is it?" He said, "Thatcher's dead." And I jumped to my feet and I punched the air. Yeah, fantastic. And one of the lads next to me went, "What?" I put the phone down. "What's up? What's? Have you had some good news? What, have you got a new job?" I went, "No, Thatcher's dead." I was delighted. Some prick, bearing in mind this is central Scotland, some prick reported me to their manager and said I was celebrating the death of an old lady. So my gaffer had to have a word with me. So my gaffer took me aside, and it just so happened that my gaffer, her dad was an old Kent coal miner. Bringing it back to the podcast. Yeah, so she was like, "Look, I'm having this conversation with you, but nothing is going to happen. But just, come on, be careful." What the fuck are you talking about? This is Scotland. This is the home of the poll tax riots. You are joking me. She was like, "Yeah, I know, but times have moved on. People are a lot younger than us, and they don't realise." Fuck them. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, this rehashing of history is bullshit, right? And I'll tell you why. I got some stats, if you don't mind me sharing. Listeners, if you're sticking with this, then you're better.
I'll tell everyone in the intro to get to a notepad and pen.
Between 1984 and 1992, 120 pits were shut in the United Kingdom, accompanied by a loss of over 100,000 jobs in mining, which went from 187,000 jobs in 84 down to roughly between 44,000 and 50,000 in 1992. So somewhere between about 120, 140 by my maths. Additional job losses would have occurred in supplier industry such as equipment, transport services, anything associated with mines. And the Hansard debate in 1992 estimated that for every 100 miners made redundant, about 33 other mining industry employees were also lost. Why? Because as the point is made at the beginning, because this was a retaliation for those areas that had spoken against Ted Heath in 71, 73? I can't remember the year. But, do you know what I mean? Like, I know a family where the father took his own life. Like, I want to say 85, 86. I didn't know about that until I was a teenager. But yeah, one of the lads that used to school with me, his father took his own life because he couldn't provide for his family. And that blood is on that government's hands and Margaret Thatcher's hands. And I think one of the points that's made in the thing is we're all still here and she's fucking dead. She died in a hotel room on her own, sad and lonely, and we're all still here. And I love those women for that. I think those women are the best of all of us. And if I could achieve half of what they've achieved, even post this, even post 1992, because we go through a few things that they've done. One of the ladies became mayor of Sunderland twice. One of them created a rape crisis support group. One of them's got a company called Period Power, which supports over 200 communities in the North Midlands, Cheshire and Greater Manchester, I think it was, with period poverty, which, you know, my wife started a box at work, and, you know, you put all your pads and your bits and pieces in there for people that need them, you know, or, you know, to go to local schools and stuff. It's sickening how much these government after government, Tory Labour, doesn't matter, and the new fucking lot, when they get in, they're just going to obliterate communities, whole communities, and we're the turkeys that voted for it. Not all of us, of course, but we are. You can't put this on YouTube, but I just feel like I should fucking strap myself up and go in. Do you know what I mean? Or am I a martyr or a jalfrezi? Boom. That's how I feel. You're gonna have to put it on the podcast. Do you know what I mean? But we didn't know it was coming. He was such a nice man. He was all consumed by podcasting. We didn't know deep down inside, when he wasn't podcasting, he was planning on fucking the system. I'm 45 years old. I've got bad knees. I'm too old for fucking the system, but I really would like to. I really would. If anyone much younger than me is out there and they want like a Brother Barry type character to kind of...
You can start running that a certain way, you know, low to the ground, low center of gravity.
That's exactly it. Lunge running. It's good for the glutes, apparently. Yeah, no, look, I'm not going to do anything like that. It's all a joke, listeners. It's all a joke. But I do feel like, you know, they say the older you get, the more right you get. It's fucking bullshit. If you're a good person, the older you get, the more you care about, like, your community and people around you. And it's not painting a fucking roundabout, and it's not hanging a ratty fucking Sports Direct flag up. It's about going and helping at a food bank. It's about going and buying some pads and putting them in a box. You know, that whatever you do it for people. Don't do it for getting your fucking name on the internet or standing outside a fucking hostel, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Going to an area full of rubbish, cleaning it up, going to a playground, doing a paint job on that. You know? Yeah,
exactly. It's not. Even if you give an hour, it's an hour given that the other side aren't doing. So go and do it.
Yeah, go and put a flag up. Go to a playground, you know. Clean up all the shit in there, you know. Give it a paint job everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
Do a nice job of it. Then you can put a flag up outside if you do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Go to a community centre and teach someone how to cook. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, go to, I don't know, volunteer to work at the Cubs or something. I don't know. Is that still a thing? The Cubs, I always wanted to do that. I was at the Boys Brigade as a kid, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, you want to be proud of the place, you know. Don't piss in the fucking street.
Oh yeah, that lot. Fucking hell. Tommy 10 Names and his mates just pissing up against a thing and then going for a kebab afterwards. Yeah, all right, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I've ruined this. I've ruined it now. I was quite nice about the film. I was quite nice about
podcasting, everybody. Sorry.
5 years late, I think.
Doesn't want to do it his own show. No, it comes on this one.
Oh, I've ruined it on my own one many, many times. But this lot went out with the teachers. They went out with the RMT. They went out with the posties. They show solidarity throughout, and I think that's what's missing at the minute. I think we're missing any kind of solidarity. I think we're missing any kind. I'm not saying I think in general, as a country and maybe even as a people, I think we're missing solidarity with those that have got nothing or those that have got the least. And I'm doing all right. You know, I've got a nice house, and you know, I've got a decent job. It's not the best job I've ever had, and it doesn't pay what my old job used to pay. But I'm happy because I feel like in my day job I'm giving a little bit of something back. I get spat at in the street and called a prick, but you know, it is what it is. I'm giving a little bit of something back, and I want to do that personally as well where I can. So if you've got an hour a week, go and give an hour a week. If you've got, just help an old person across the road, for fuck's sake. Help somebody off the bus. Whatever. It all counts, and it all dilutes what this other lot are doing with the flags and the hotels and Robin Shoe Zone and all that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah. God, you invite me on to talk politics, and I talk politics. Crazy.
It's been the spoiler zone, everybody.
Oh, hang on. Is that the police at the door? Fuck's sake, not again. How am I going to explain this one? It's a comedy podcast.
Getting swatted.
I wish. Take me down. Take me away.